So how much did my solar system setup cost me? I've had quite a few people ask me this question on my YouTube channel, so I wanted to kind of do a video and answer that. But please note these prices were from the beginning of April 2022, so may have changed a fair bit now. So this is the solar system setup that I went for in the end. So I've got 14 Jinko 390 watt panels, 10 on the south and 4 on the east, totaling 5.4 kilowatts. I couldn't fit any more on the south just because I've got some Velux windows, so I couldn't get any more on there. But I decided to put 4 on the east as I'd got kind of that side of the roof as well. Luckily, I'd got 4 sides to my roof instead of a kind of only 2 sides. So 4 on the east is really good because I've got a clear kind of sky to the east side. 390 watt panels at the time in 2021, that was kind of around what you'd get maximum wattage in your panels, although now it seems to be steadily creeping up. You can get 420 kind of thing. They seem to be creeping up slowly and slowly and slowly. Who knows, 10 years time we might be looking at 800 watt panels. I say that only because one of my neighbors has got the original kind of blue and silver panels, and they've had theirs on about 10 years, and they're 190 watt panels. So that kind of, mine have doubled. They are smaller though, obviously. Usually the bigger, more watts you get, the bigger the panel. Anyway, straight on to the inverter. 4 kilowatt inverter. I originally ordered a 5 kilowatt inverter, but it wasn't available due to stock issues at the time. So instead of putting off the install, I plumped for the 4 kilowatt instead. And that's a solar edge inverter. And the reason I went for that was because I wanted the optimizers on each panel so I could see what each panel was up to, and because I wanted an extended warranty, a longer warranty period that only Solar Edge could offer, that Give Energy sort of couldn't offer that length of warranty. But we'll come on to that, and I'll show you how much I paid for the extra warranty at the time. So on the battery side, I decided to go for a Give Energy 3 kilowatt AC inverter coupled up with the 8 kilowatt Give Energy battery, which now is obviously the 9. Also not in the quote, but I've added them on since, was the My Energy Eddy, Harvey and the Hub, which I installed myself afterwards. I kind of paid about £500 for all those 3. And then the Hypervolt came first. That was the first thing I ever bought about, I don't know, 6 months before the solar went on, while the government grant was still in place. So the Hypervolt was installed, the EV charger was installed first. Right, so this is the quote and what I paid for my system. Obviously, you can see at the top there, the date was the 26th of January 2022, and the install date was the end of March 2022. The quote wasn't broken down completely, although the bird mesh and the extra warranty extension on both the Solar Edge and the Give Energy was priced separately, and I can tell you what that was in a moment. But this is basically what I got. The 14 panels, the Solar Edge 5 kilowatt inverter, although is shown here, although I had the 4. The difference between the two, would you believe it, was about £35 difference between the 4 kilowatt and the 5 kilowatt at the time. So there wasn't a lot of money coming back when I went for the lower one. The Give Energy 8 kilowatt battery, the mounting kit, the generation meter, all of the cables, and then the Solar Edge warranty extension to 25 years and the Give Energy warranty extension. This is for the inverter because the battery has a maximum of 10 anyway. You can't exceed that. And then the bird mesh to the 14 panels, and then everything else really, the service side, the design, the testing, the registration, the 5-year workmanship warranty insurance. Some people will offer you 10, which is fantastic. This company, Green Solar World, in Newmarket in Suffolk, that I went with, they offered, I think it was 2 years, but I asked them if they did a separate insurance policy where I could extend the workmanship to an extra sort of few years to build it up to 5 years, and they said yes. And I paid, I believe, about £160 for an extra 3 years of that workmanship warranty, just for peace of mind for myself. And then the scaffolding, as well. If you get quotes that are itemizing everything, then that is brilliant. Every company is different, so you will see some things fully itemized and some things they just may not want to tell you, like how much they're being charged for the scaffolding, etc. Because again, this quote is going to be different for everybody, because every house is different. You may need more scaffolding, you may need less. You may have in-roof panels which take more labor as opposed to on-roof. You may have less panels, you might have more panels. Oh, it goes on and on and on. So in the end, £11,049 plus the 5% VAT at the time. I missed out on the zero VAT by, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, which is a bit of a shame. So I had to pay £550 of VAT as well. So it came out to £11,600. And then afterwards, I would say I spent another kind of 500 or so on the Eddy, the Harvey, and the Hub. So in a way, I kind of spent just over 12,000, I would say. But prices have gone up since then, so I think you may find it very difficult to get that same system for that price. Right, so the warranty extensions, here's the breakdown of what they cost. So the workmanship warranty, as I mentioned before, for the insurance to go up to 5 years, so an extra 3 years was £160. And then for the Solar Edge inverter warranty, up to 25 years, which is the maximum you can get, was an extra £294. And the Give Energy warranty, to extend that to 10 years on the inverter, was £198. I can't tell you if that was including VAT or not. And finally, the bird protection was £450, which I thought was a little bit excessive, because it was just ended up being the metal kind of mesh around the outside with the plastic clips. There are different types of bird protection, but this price is going to vary greatly depending on how many panels you end up having put up, if you want bird protection or not around the outsides. So if I wanted a cheaper install at the time, then it could have been a lot cheaper than what I actually paid, but I was very happy with what I chose in the end. Obviously, you could have not had the warranty extensions, which sort of added up to three, four, five, £650 probably. And then the bird protection, obviously that would have taken another £450 off. So that could have taken off another £1,000 off of that. So you could have been in at, I could have been in at 10 and a half. And then if I didn't have to pay any VAT, that'd have been another £500 off. So I could have been in for 10 then. And then if I'd have gone for a hybrid system and not two inverters, as most people do, then I could have actually saved probably another £1,000 for the inverter. So that could have come down to actually somewhere like £9,000 if I was very lucky. And I'll just show you another quote that I got at the time, which was for a hybrid setup. So if you're interested, this was another quote right at the end of December 2021 for a hybrid inverter. So Give Energy for the inverter, a 3.6, which would have meant I didn't have to have the G99 approval from the DNO, and the 8.2 battery. And these panels were slightly smaller, 15 though, so one extra panel, which we couldn't fit on in the end. But these were 355s and not the 390s that I went for in the end. And everything else looks very similar, but obviously it doesn't include the extended warranties or the bird protections. And you can see there the 2-year workmanship warranty, which was included, because the 5-year wasn't added on there. So with the VAT included, that came out at £9,500 at the time. So I just wanted to show you that in comparison at the time. So something else I did at the time was actually put all of the quotes into a spreadsheet, just so I could kind of see what was like for like, and kind of give me a better idea of what I was going to go for. So in this instance, I put the panels down the left hand side, and then the inverter, and then the battery was always going to be a Give Energy 8.2, so I put that all the way down. And then the amount of kilowatt hours, the price, what bird protection was going to cost me, because I wanted that. Definitely, definitely wanted that. Extra cable runs, which some people couldn't decide upon whether it was going to cost more. Um, Total cost, obviously, because bird protection and these extras weren't added on. Code words for what company it was. The warranties of the panels, very important. These can vary. And the warranties on the panel performance, and warranties on the mounting kits that are on the roof, and the inverter warranties, the workmanship warranty years, and the battery warranty years. So, and a battery inverter, if I went down that route as well, the AC inverter, I plopped that in there. And then finally, as I've told you before, how much I kind of paid for extras such as the um, warranties for the inverters. So you can see here, if you have a look, there's various prices, various setups. Everything is different. If you're going to get quotes for this, I'd kind of recommend trying to get people to quote you the same size panels, the same technology. Otherwise, you just can't compare like for like if you're dealing with different manufacturers of different inverters and different powers and different things like that. You make your head spin, and you can't spend kind of years and years getting different quotes. So try and stick to a kind of a setup, an installation that you want, or that someone's kind of recommended, and kind of try and go with that. You can see there in yellow, that's the quote I went for in the end: the solar edge, the battery, um, and the price, then the extras and things like that, which some of those extras I hadn't included on top because the total there is 11 and I paid about 11 and a half. So some of the others I was looking at, but then you actually have a feel for the company that you like as well, the way they kind of handle themselves, how fast they reply to emails, this sort of thing. And obviously how long they're going to take to actually come and do your install and things like that. So there's or word of mouth. If someone else has had a really good install and you've gone and seen it, then you're probably going to prefer them. So there's lots of different things to think about, but it is worth doing your research before you come to a kind of conclusion about who you're going to go with, and look at their terms and conditions and things like that, and how much deposit they want and things like that. Oh, it's just it goes on and on and on. But I have got another video, if you want to have a look at that, about things to think about before your installation as well. I'll put that in the pop out right now above, and I'll put it in the description below as well. And I'll link to it at the end of this video when you get a choice of other videos at the end. So that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.